Welcome all sim racing fans, welcome NOSSCAR fans, welcome to the entire community. We are here live for round 23 of the 2022 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series season, hosted here on NASCAR Heat 5, 22 drivers, 150 laps. It's the Magic Mile 301 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and we are already rocking and rolling for stage one of this 150 lap event. The pole sitter Aaron Garcia is also your points leader coming into this one. He is your race leader in that number 24 Chevy Camaro, with Jesse Carlson in the number 6 Ford Mustang just behind him, and it's Aiden Cody in the number 95 GCJ Motorsports Toyota running in third. The two-time NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion Matt Smith in the 47 scored in fourth. Rounding out the top five, your 2021 NOSSCAR Legend Series champion Josh Colm-Diaz in the 9. I am NOSSCAR CEO and founder Tyler McMurder, along with my two in-race reporters, Jesse Carlson driving the 6 and Alex Pesdall driving the 17. Thank you both for joining me. And yeah, it's been a great start to this one so far. We'll throw it over quickly to the driver of the 6. Jesse Carlson, we'll start with you. You're running up there in the runner-up spot, qualified third. How's the car feeling, buddy? Looks like it's pretty fast to start this one.
Oh yeah, it's pretty quick and all, and yeah, just keeping the racing line, and tires will wear out and then get loose later, but yeah, so far just handling the car, trying to keep it out of the wall and all, and yeah, looking forward to this thing, no caution.
Yeah, you're looking for a long green flag run here. Clearly, you've got good track position and a great start for you in the number 6 car. Good luck to you the rest of the way.
Thank you.
And now we'll pass it along to the driver of the 17, Triple Crown winner, Alex Pesdall. Alex, you're mired in traffic here. Whole different story as opposed to your teammate Jesse in the number 6 car. You're outside the top 10 right now. What's been the biggest struggle for you so far as you're kind of stuck in a 2 and 3 wide battle?
Yeah, a lot of traffic right now and battling to get into the top 10. And we're mainly just going to try to keep the car clean, tires underneath it, and get these guys in the long run.
Best of luck to you the rest of the way. We'll let you get back at it. Looks like you got your hands full. And not necessarily with the car, just with the traffic. As you mentioned, there are a lot of cars in tonight's race, 22 cars on the racetrack, and it's a 1 mile oval, very flat, very challenging, very tough to make passes here. So qualifying is very important, because if you're mid-pack or back, you're oftentimes stuck in traffic battling, trying to get your way to the front, and there's just really only so far you can go. And we were talking before the broadcast began, it's a 36-lap race, 36-lap stage here for stage one. These drivers, if they're not pushing too hard, should be able to make it the entire length of the stage without having to pit 4 tires. The fuel is not a problem. The tires that these drivers are going to be a little bit concerned about. Good battle here. The 14. Daytona 500 winner Beam SKP on the inside of Trey Hollywood in the 48. Trey won the Talladega race earlier this season. Charles in the 1 car has 2 wins this season, locks himself into the playoffs with that. Jordan Roughton in the 2 car is the one that needs to make something happen here if he wants to keep his playoff hopes alive. And now he gets loose coming out of turn 4, and he's actually going to come down pit road, but I definitely don't think he meant to do that. We caught it on camera. There was no contact between he and anybody else. He just got loose coming out of the corner, and now he's on pit road. And if this happens, my advice is just stop, take the service, see if you can get your lap back before the end of the day. The cautions are on, so not only do you have the 2 stoppages from the stages, but you have another stoppage if a potential crash or incident happens out on the racetrack. He will now be the first car 1 lap down. Jeffrey Robinson Jr., former NOSSCAR champion on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition, has worked his way up inside the top 10. Pablo Hugo, the driver in the 46 car, just behind him. There are 22 drivers from 4 different countries in tonight's event. Pablo, 4th driver out of Spain, Beam SKP, this year's Daytona 500 winner, driver out of France, and we have Emily and Blair Roussel out there out of Canada. And they're all chasing the points leader and the pole sitter, Aaron Garcia. This is what the battle for the lead looks like. Jesse Carlson still running in second in the number 6 Castrol Edge Ford Mustang. Love the paint job on that machine. And it's Matt Smith now currently scored in third in the number 47. He has taken the third position away from Aiden Cody in the number 95. In fact, Aiden has now dropped back to P5. Josh Colombiez in the 9 car has worked his way up to 4th. And the top 5 have separated themselves from the rest of the field a little bit. There's the driver running in 5th, and as you can see, no drivers, no cars right behind him, holding him for that position. And there you can see it's about the full length of a straightaway, the gap between the drivers running in 5th and 6th respectively. Ray Hollywood in the 48 running in the 6th position. Carlos Jackson running in 7th. Beam SKP in the 14 running in 8th. Brenton Prince scored in 9th in that number 20 car. And it's Alex Tesdall in the 17 rounding out the top 10. Harold Burton in the 16 runs in 11th just behind him. And then that's where you find the rest of the field, folks. The biggest group on the racetrack is definitely the one from about 9th on back to a 14th or 15th. And now they're going to lose one. Brenton Prince in the 20.
Sorry to interrupt you, the 20 to the pits.
Yeah, no, I saw that. No problem. That's what you guys are here for. I need you guys to tell me what's going on. But I caught that one.
Oh, the 1's around in 2 as well.
And the 11 was around over in turn 4. The 1 was around in turn 2. He's got it straightened out again. And a bunch of front-end damage to the Chevy Camaro of Charles Jackson for Brett Baker Racing. And we're at the point in the run now where these cars are going to be very loose. The tires are wearing out and heating up the longer they go. And some of these drivers are losing control on the exit of the turns because of it. And some of them are even electing to come to pit road for service. Brenton Prince came down pit road for service. We saw Emily Sari in the 11 come to pit road for service as well, but I think that she spun and then elected to come down and take on the 4 tires. Aaron Garcia leads. Jesse Carlson in second, Matt Smith in third, and then here is Josh Colombiez in the 9, running in 4th. The 2 car is not a battle for position. Remember, Jordan lost control early in this one, coming out of turn 4, and then came down pit road. Did not mean to. Just happened to be where his car went when he lost control. And now he is the first car 1 lap down right now. Riding along the 5th car in line too, so he's got the leaders pretty close to him, and he's got slightly fresher tires, and there's no second guessing if he can make it all the way to the end of this stage if we go green with those tires. He's got him to the end now, and Aiden Cody runs in 5th, nobody hounding him, but the bad news for him is he's kind of lost touch with the front 4. Might need to make an adjustment or two to get this 95 car a bit quicker and a bit more competitive so he can stay up there with them the rest of the way. He unloaded strong, he's just got to get a little bit stronger. And a big wiggle there out of the Daytona 500 winner, Bean. Driving for Steel Horse Motorsports and a 14 Ford Mustang. He's in the 7th position right now. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. right behind him. I don't know if that's a battle for position. We'll throw it over to Alex Tesdall. Is the 18 on the lead lap with you?
No, he is currently running in 21st.
So yeah, I thought there was a problem for him early. I thought I remembered seeing him come into pit road for an unscheduled pit stop.
Pit wall.
Charles Jackson as well, not for position either. He's working his way back through with fresher tires. And Rush Downing in the 34, we're hearing, made contact with the outside wall. He's soldiering on still. And the best battle really for position on the track is the one for about 7th on back. Bean in the 14 trying to hang on to it. Again, folks, we're at the point in the run now where everybody is kind of hanging on for dear life. They're going to try to make it to the end of this stage without having to stop for tires, but the price they're paying is having a very loose, very ill-handling race car. Couple of long-time drivers here. Long-time NOSSCAR veterans, Sean Lucas in the 21, Jordan Green in the 00. Jordan in the 00, of course, a 6-time NOSSCAR champion from NASCAR 15. Sean Lucas full-time this year, and currently 11th in the Platinum Cup Series point standings. Another couple more strong finishes, and he has his playoff spot clinched. So really not trying to drive out of control or take too many big risks here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He's just looking for a couple more solid points days. And the top three are beginning to bunch up a little bit here. They're going to catch a group of lapped cars in about another 5 or 6 laps, I would say. But now, I would say Jesse Carlson in the 6 has really closed the gap in on the 24 of Aaron Garcia. And not only that, but two-time champion Matt Smith in the 47 is right there with both of them now. And one slip by any one of these drivers, and the entire complexion of the top three, the front runners, could change. Aaron in the 24 has led every lap since the drop of the green flag, and for the most part he's been unchallenged and has not really felt the pressure of somebody hounding him for the lead, but he might feel that challenge here in a couple more laps. The drivers second and third on the leaderboard are closing in. And now they have caught the group of lapped cars I was talking about. Jordan Green in the 00, Sean Lucas in the 21, Timmy Brown in the 19, Timmy in the black and yellow Toyota right there at the front of your frame. He's the 2018 Brickyard 200 winner from the NOSSCAR Motormaster Series. He's been here for quite some time as well. And we'll throw it down to Jesse Carlson, driver of the number 6 car, running in second right now. How many laps to go in stage 1?
We are coming to 5 to go.
Excellent stuff. Thanks very much. We don't want to bother you too much. We know that you've got a fierce battle going on there for very valuable stage points here. I might want to remind the audience about that. The stage winner gets a playoff point, but the top 10 in the stages get those stage points. And some of these drivers coming in here tonight need points to make the playoffs or to clinch a spot here tonight, so that way they don't need to worry for the tracks upcoming, such as Atlanta and Daytona, and some of them are wild card events. Coming around now at a turn 4 laps to go for your race leader, Aaron Garcia, and there's a couple more cars just in front of him that are in danger of going a lap down. Pablo Hugo, the driver out of Spain, and the Colt Trickle Days of Thunder paint job there for Rockstar Racing. Love that car. Unfortunately, he is the next car in front of your race leader to go a lap down. He's trying to work his way to the inside of the 96 of Dustin Hardy. It's a battle for position, but not only that, it's also a battle to stay on the lead lap. Been a pretty solid part-time campaign for Dustin in the 96 car. Joined the season a little bit late, does not have a shot at making the playoffs, even if he were to run the rest of the regular season races. So he's out here just getting valuable seat time, driving a Juicy J Motorsports Toyota, which is definitely the top Toyota team in NOSSCAR. Got his hands full right now in a good battle there. Sean McNutt in the 51 car. Pablo Hugo in the 46. And just in front of them is Harold Burden in the 16. They are all trying to stay on the lead lap. Aaron Garcia, it kind of looks like, is trying to show some mercy, trying to cut some of them some slack here. But I don't know if Jesse Carlson in the 6 car has the exact same plans or not. And if I'm not mistaken, there's only 2 laps to go in stage 1.
White flag.
Oh, okay, thank you very much. And now the white flag has been shown. Ooh, and a big wiggle there out of Dustin Hardy in the 96. This is not too far in front of your race leader. And Aaron in the 24 is going to get the 51 of Sean McNutt, it looks like. So Sean is going to get the free pass and get back onto the lead lap. Pablo, Dustin, and Harold are all going to survive. And Aaron Garcia wins Stage 1 of the Magic Mile 301. New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He's won a lot of stages this year. He's got the second highest playoff point total, and he's going to add another one of those. Jesse Carlson's going to finish in second. Matt Smith is going to finish in third. Josh Colm Diaz is in fourth for this one. Aiden Cody is going to take fifth. Trey Hollywood finishes sixth in Stage 1. And just a reminder to Alex Tesdall to get a photo of the top 10 from Stage 1. Don't forget to pit, either one of you as well. What a race it's been so far. And what a dominating performance. A great Stage 1 for Aaron Garcia. Strong unloading here for this number 24 Chevy Camaro, showing us why he's got 5 wins and the points lead. Strong every week, a contender for the wins every week, and really has established himself as one of the big 3 or the Fantastic 4 here this season for the 2022 Platinum Cup Series. It seems like every year there's 3 or 4 drivers, sometimes 5, that break out from the rest of the group in terms of wins and top 5s and stage wins and playoff point total. And it's no secret that Aaron is one of them in this 24 car this year. The green flag is in the air. Stage 2 is underway. Round 23 continues. 22 drivers from 4 different countries rocking and rolling. Many of them lost a lap in Stage 1. And looking to gain it back here in Stage 2. USA, Canada, Spain, and France all represented proud in this one. Oh, and a bit of a slip up there from Matt in the 47. He makes a bit of contact with Jesse Carlson in the 6, and now Josh in the 9 goes way down below the yellow line. He was 3 wide for a moment, but had no momentum exiting turn 2, so he gives it up and might even lose a spot to Charles Jackson. Trey Hollywood all over the back bumper of the 1 car as well, so it looks like Josh lifted to let the 1 in line. 48's going to lift a little bit to let the 9 go. A lot of give and take so far here in this one. A lot of patience being used. The level of urgency is not ramped up just yet. We are still in Stage 2. Now, of course, these restarts are a prime time to get the track position, make some passes, and try to stay with the lead group if you can and not be in danger of going a lap down in the latter run of the stage. But also, it's also the time when the most mistakes can happen. The likelihood of contact is definitely greater on the restarts when everyone's bunched up, and now into the wall coming out of turn 2 is Charles Jackson in the 1 car for Brett Baker Racing. He lost a couple of spots, but he bunched up the entire group, bottlenecked them, and I really thought that a couple of them were going to crash over in the back straightaway, but everybody did a great job at avoiding it. There might be a little bit of front end damage now to the 9 and the 47, but it's very hard to tell. I don't see any on the 9, and I think the 47 looks okay too. There's Aiden Cody, full-time driver for Juicy J Motorsports, rather. He's missed a couple of races though just recently, so he comes into tonight's events below the cut line to making the playoffs. He would love to change that. He got good points there in Stage 1 with a 5th place finish, and now he's running in the 7th spot in Stage 2. And right there with Trey Hollywood in the 48. Just behind him is Alex Tesdall in the 17. Alex qualified mid-pack, and he's slowly but surely worked his way forward, passing them one at a time. Now the 95 had a bit of a moment there. In 3 and 4, he went way up to the outside. He actually bounced off the wall a little bit. He's going to keep it going, but you can't be doing that too many more times. That really wears out the right front tire and upsets the race car as well, aerodynamically. A little bit further back we go. The Daytona 500 winner, Beam SKP, running in 9th. got Dustin Hardy in the 96 just in front of him. Dustin stayed on the lead lap just barely there at the end of stage 1, and I'm sure he's thanking the Lord above, or thanking somebody, because he is up there and in the top 10 now because of it, and that would not have been possible if he would be stuck one lap down to the beginning of this stage. 22 drivers out there, and at a very tight and very narrow and 1 mile oval with very little banking. We expected a bit more chaos in this, but we have had no cautions for on-track incidents, and therefore it looks like track position is going to be hard to come by in this one. And just an update here. The 2 car, Jordan Roughton, is off the racetrack, motionless, and does not appear to still be in the vehicle anymore. It appears he is done for the day. Early in this one, he spun coming out of turn 4 and went down pit road, and definitely was not by choice either. He decided to stop and get service, and for a while he was the first car 1 lap down, but as the leaders kept on going and kept on catching other cars, Jordan did not get that free pass at the end of stage 1, and he decided to pull off the racetrack. He is done. Six-time NOSSCAR champion, folks. Jordan Green. How many drivers can say that they've won 6 sim racing championships anywhere, much less in the same league here, and he is one of them. Currently off the lead lap right now, but he's right there with the drivers that are on the lead lap and running inside the top 10. So if he can keep this pace going, who knows, he might be able to stay only 1 down for the end of stage 2. Might even be able to be in the free pass position at the end of all this. Get back up there and give it a run for the win. There's Rush Downing in the 34. Former NASCAR Outlaw Series race winner on Wreckfest. Right there just in front of Jordan Green. Now, I believe he has fallen a lap. No, he's definitely fallen a lap down to the leader. I believe he might even be 2 down. But since then has repaired the car, made some adjustments, tightened it up, and running much better lap times. And back to the front we go, and it's a good thing we did, because we've got a big battle for the lead. Aaron Garcia trying to hold off Jesse Carlson, Charles Jackson, Matt Smith, and Josh Colm-Diaz. They have all really been the class of the field today, with some flashes of brilliance from drivers like Aiden Cody, Trey Hollywood, Alex Tesdall, and Trenton Krentz maybe as well, but Trenton stuck 1 lap down at this point, and he just brought his number 20 Toyota car to the pits to get service, and it is a scheduled stop for him. He is off sequence with your leaders. What a battle we're watching. It's very tough to make passes here at New Hampshire. It's very, very flat all the way down at the bottom in these corners. And it's smart to actually drive in with a very wide entry so you can kind of counter that, turn the car back down to the bottom of the track in the center of the corner. Because really, if you enter too low, even just a little bit, you're sliding up in the center of the corner and you're really brushing speed off of your lap time. Have to complete passes as well, because you'll see most of these drivers running a middle to high line, and it's tough to get down there on the bottom and make it stick and slide up and clear them. But somehow Charles Jackson just did it for the 2nd place position. There was contact made between the two. He kind of forced the issue. And Jesse is going to take the smart route for now, and he's going to slide into 3rd just in front of your 2-time champion, Matt Smith. Actually, I should mention this. 5 championships combined between the top 5 drivers. Aaron Garcia, your 2022 NOSSCAR Tailgate Truck Series champion. He is your race leader and current points leader for the Cup Series as well. Matt Smith, 2-time Platinum Cup champion and this year's Motormaster Series champion, currently scored in 4th. Josh Colm-Diaz, your 2021 NOSSCAR Legend Series champion, scored in the 5th place position. And we just saw the 47 go to the bottom on the front stretch to let the 9 car go to take the 4th place position. We're going to throw it down to Alex Tesdall, the driver of the 17. Alex, we wanted to ask you about tires and fuel. You don't need to give us your numbers and tell us your strategy, but could it be possible that others are going to be close and might need to pit or at least save their tires as they go?
Stage 2 is actually a bit longer than 1, so we will need to make a stop at this stage.
Okay. And so let me ask you this then. Is there any kind of point to Matt Smith slowing down and saving the tires and letting somebody go?
I mean, maybe to run out longer and do 2 tires at the end. Other than that, no, probably not.
All right. Thank you for the info. How many laps to go right now in the 2nd stage?
32, and the 1 car just went down pit road.
10-4. Thanks a bunch, guys. Yeah, that's pretty big news. There is Charles Jackson. He missed qualifying, so he started this race 22nd and slowly worked his way through the field, had himself worked up into the top 5. He was battling for the lead just a moment ago with Matt Smith, Aaron Garcia, Jesse Carlson, and Josh Colm-Diaz. We were watching it. And now he has decided to come down pit road for service. Looked like a pretty short pit stop as well. And we'll keep our eye on the race leaders to see when they decide to come in for scheduled service. We know the window is open now. And it's going to be interesting to see what everybody does, because some are going to take 2, and some are going to take 4, but I think if you're going to take 4, you might want to pit now and use those 4 tires for a much longer duration of time, more laps on 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles rather than less on 2. I don't know.
96 is wrecked on the front.
And you're right, Dustin Hardy is wrecked over on the front straightaway, and he's actually stuck up against the wall. Oh no, never mind, it was a glitch on my end here, and no, he's rolling again, but now he is only about 2 seconds, maybe 3.5 seconds to be exact, in front of your race leader. He is in big trouble of going 1 lap down now in stage 2. He's got some damage, mainly to the rear of that Toyota car, the Juicy J Motorsports. And now with Dustin having damage, it might be smart to come to pit road as soon as possible since the fuel window is open. And maybe repair that damage. And Aaron Garcia surrenders the race lead. The 24 car is on pit road. And Jesse Carlson in the 6 is going to lead laps for the first time here tonight in the Magic Mile 3:01 at New Hampshire. Josh Colm-Diaz up to 2nd. Matt Smith running in 3rd. Top 3 yet to make their pit stops, more than that even, but those are the front runners as we stand right now. And now Josh in the 9 car is going to surrender 3rd. Really, before the cycle of pit stops began, Josh was running in 5th, if we really want to be technical about things. Aiden Cody in the 95, strong qualifying run for him. Finished 5th in stage 1. And comes into this race needing big points in order to get him above that playoff cut line. He's doing his part, 5th in stage 1. That's 6 points right there, and has a top 10 spot here in stage 2 so far. Daytona 500 winner, Beam out of France here from Steel Horse Motorsports, is going to surrender his position and come to pit road for service, as is Alex Tesdall in the 17. Pit road, a very busy place here with about 30 laps to go in stage 2. There's Harold in the number 16 Chevy Camaro, coming off a big win earlier this week in the NOSSCAR Legend Series at Texas Motor Speedway. Going in with high hopes here tonight. Before the cycle of pit stops began, he was in the 10th place position and on the lead lap, having a quiet day, not a mark on the car. Now that we're checking in on him, got a lot of front-end damage for that Air Force Motorsports Chevy Camaro. He's going to definitely need to tend to that either at the end of stage 2 or maybe even on his next pit stop. He's yet to make his scheduled pit stop here in stage 2. Jesse Carlson still leads. Matt Smith runs in second. Yet to make their scheduled stop in stage 2. The advantage that they have here is if a caution comes out, then they have trapped a lot of cars 1 or 2 laps down. The disadvantage for them, they're losing some time to the drivers who have already made their pit stop and taken on 4 or 2 tires. Oh, and just not too far in front of your leader, Pablo Hugo in the 46 went up and bounced off the wall in turn 2. He is okay and going still, but definitely hurt the performance of that machine. There goes Dave Marks Jr. in the 41, passing your race leader. He has already made his pit stop. He has fresh tires, so he is unlapping himself, as is Aaron Garcia in the 24. Oh, and contact there between Dave and Aaron. Aaron went way up the hill, and then it looked like Dave lifted to try to give him the spot back, and now he's going to lose that lap back to Jesse Carlson for the time being. All over this racetrack, guys. Rest in peace, my voice. Every Friday, NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series action. 7th annual season, folks. This series started back on NASCAR 15 Victory Edition, and since then we have been crowning race winners and champions and having a good time doing it. We have really built a strong, respectful, and professional racing family here with over 250 drivers across 4 different platforms: iRacing, NASCAR Heat 5, Gran Turismo 7, and WreckFest. And we have a battle for the lead. They have not made their scheduled stop yet. Now here comes Josh in the 9 car behind them, who has, and he's going to maybe break up the battle for the lead for just a moment. He goes inside on Matt Smith, outside on Jesse Carlson, and that kind of just goes to show the viewers at home how much stronger 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles are versus, 4 tires that have about 30 or 40 laps on them. We'll throw it over to Alex Tesdall, actually. Alex, how many laps do they have on their tires this far into the run?
Wreck. And we have a caution.
Changes things.
Okay, well, we have more questions for you now. I believe the caution is for Jeffrey Robinson Jr. He was the one crashed over on the front straightaway. Many drivers just narrowly missed him. How many cars are on the lead lap? This shakes everything up.
7 on the lead lap. So everyone, 8th on back is the lap. 8th to 13th is 1 down. 14th on back is... Probably going to be seeing a lot of wave arounds here.
Yeah, the 18 wrecked and
Got a copy? There we go. I had some sort of technical problem there. I've seen it before, and I don't even know what causes it. We are green, folks. We're back going again. The top 7 or 8 are on the lead lap. Some of these drivers took some wave arounds. They were in the fuel window to get to the end, so they might as well, but they're going to have much more worn tires than the top 7 or 8. We are going again here in stage 2. And I do apologize to the viewers at home. We did have a technical difficulty there, and we have got it sorted out now, and we are rocking and rolling. Under 25 to go in stage 2. We had a late stage caution, the first one for an on-track incident all race long. And now that things have shaken out after the restart, it's Matt Smith, the driver of the 47, the defending and 2-time NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, is out front and leading laps for the first time in this race. Aaron Garcia, your pole sitter, has led the most laps in this race, right there in second, about a car length separating the two. Harold Burden is running in third in the Air Force Motorsports number 16 Chevy Camaro. He stayed out, did not make that scheduled pit stop, and it has really benefited him. He is up there in the top 3 and on the lead lap with a shot to win the stage and maybe even the race. And we talked earlier about his big win earlier this week in the NOSSCAR Legends Series at Texas. He's on a roll. Harold is. Josh Colton-Diaz in the 9 scored in the 4th place position. He unlapped himself the old-fashioned way with those 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles during that run. Charles Jackson runs in 5th. Jesse Carlson runs in 6th. And if I'm not mistaken, Aiden Cody is running in 7th. In the 95 machine. And the battle for the lead is on here. The 24 not giving up. He's going to take the outside line, clear the 2-time champ, and resume leading the race here for the Magic Mile 301. I think we've had 5 different leaders now. And Aaron's going to come around and lead this one. He scraped the wall just a bit coming out of turn 4. That killed his momentum, and that allowed Matt in the 47 to stay with him. Not that he was losing him or anything, but he definitely was able to close up and have a pretty decent run on him going into turn 1. Didn't go to the bottom or the top and try anything. Kind of stayed in line. And the battle for 3rd on back is looking like this. It's a hornet's nest being led by Harold Burden in the 16. Jesse Carlson has worked his way up to 4th. Jesse was in 2nd before the cycle of pit stops began, and now contact between he and Charles Jackson. Charles kind of forced the issue in there. 3 wide. The 6 went up and hit the 16. The 16 drops outside of the top 5. Charles is going to bounce up into 4th. You can only imagine how unhappy the 16, maybe even the 6 are at the 1, and now going down the front straightaway. Looked like Jesse was trying to show his displeasure a little bit with the 1, and it's going to cost him a bit of momentum coming out of turn 4. The 48 is now to the outside of him. And we were talking a lot about this before the broadcast and during. Very tough to make passes here, and now Trey is going to drive in hard into the back bumper of the 6, and I'm not even too sure what that's about, but there was some contact there, that's for sure. Just behind them, Harold Burden was able to clear the 95 and the 96. The 96 is Dustin Hardy, and the 95 is Aiden Cody. Beam SKP in the 14 for Steel Horse Motorsports is trying to drive his way back into the top 10 as well. And there you see him. 2 NOSSCAR Truck Series wins for him in his truck career, and he is this year's Platinum Cup Series Daytona 500 winner, 7th annual. 30 drivers were in that one, and it was a wild and exciting battle all the way to the finish with him and Jeffrey Robinson Jr. and Matt Smith. And we were watching the battle for 3rd on back, and it was about 7 cars involved in the battle for 3rd, and now Josh in the 9 car has driven away with the 3rd place position, with Charles Jackson and Jesse Carlson battling pretty fiercely for 4th and 5th.
I had a crash that happened, sorry, on the backstretch, but they got it back going.
Who did it involve? Who was that?
I'm unsure, but I saw a car, it should be a 2nd car in front of the leader that spun around or something.
All right, thanks a bunch. Oh, we have another one stopped over on the back straightaway, and I believe it was the 46 of Pablo Hugo, driver to Spain. Got his first career Platinum Cup Series top 10 just a couple of weeks ago. And he's got it going. Oh no, it's actually it might have been the 18 of Jeffrey Robinson Jr., and it is. It's been a very tough race in New Hampshire for Jeffrey. Former NOSSCAR champion on NASCAR 15, and he's in a playoff spot, locked in based on points. Got a couple of playoff points to start his postseason as well. It's just not been the night that he's been wanting. And the battle is still on for the spots just inside the top 10 really here. And it's Trey Hollywood in the 48, Beam SKP in the 14, Aiden Cody in the 95, Harold Burden in the 16 car. Sean McNutt in the 51, have not spoken too much about him. Long-time NASCAR driver since the NASCAR 15 days. And he's up there having a pretty good run inside the top 15, and not a mark on that number 51 Toyota. Jeffrey coming back out of the pits after getting service. He's repaired some of that damage, and he's going to continue on and try to get every point that he can and just kind of salvage what he can here. And heavy contact between the 21 and the 17. Looked like Sean was trying to drive it in and get underneath Alex and challenge for the position. Got tight.
It's not even for a position, so I don't know.
He got tight and slid up into the side of you, and then it looked like he lifted and gave it back.
Yeah, I don't know what his thought process was there, because I ain't even for the position. But we're all good.
Battle for the lead is on here. They're crossover moving each other. It's Matt Smith in the 47 down low. Aaron Garcia in the 24 up high. Oh! And was that for the stage right there?
Yes.
I thought so, and I think that the 24 edged him.
It's showing the 47 as the leader, but I'll confirm it in a second.
Please do, yeah. That was close.
The 47 won the stage.
All right, Matt Smith is going to claim the stage 2 win. It was close, but just by the naked eye, I really thought that it was the 24 that edged him. That was intense. And a strong stage win for the two-time champ. Bouncing back and showing that he's got a good shot to win here tonight as well. The Magic Mile 301. Josh Colm-Diaz finishes in 3rd. Jesse Carlson in 4th. Charles Jackson in 5th. And as long as you got a photo of the Stage 2 top 10, we are all set for the final stage. Round 23 of the 2022 NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series season. After this one, we've only got 5 more regular season races. The playoffs are only a couple of weeks away. These drivers are getting more and more anxious to begin the postseason. First, they've got to go through New Hampshire. Green flag is out. The final stage is underway. 22 cars started the race. 20 of them left on the racetrack. Ooh, they're 3 and 4 wide deep in the field. Harold Burden bounced off the wall. Timmy Brown in the 19 did the same. A couple of cars scraped each other going down the back straightaway, and they're still 2 and 3 wide. Mid-pack on back. For the most part, they're single file up front, and it's Josh Colm-Diaz in the 9 taking the lead here in New Hampshire for the first time tonight. Josh looking for that first Platinum Cup Series win in 2 years, folks. He won the Homestead event in the 2020 season. Man, would it be something. It would be amazing. It'd be a huge party down in the Timac Garage if Josh can park it in victory lane. He's got the lead at the right time in the race, and it's a very tough track to complete passes on, so if he can hold on to this track position, he might have something here. And now Trey Hollywood is running in 4th. He just took that position away from Charles Jackson in the 1. Aiden Cody in the 95 has made his car significantly better. He's up there in 6th, but he's challenging with the drivers in the top 5. Jesse Carlson scored in 7th. Beam SKP scored in 8th. Sean McNutt in 9th, and Trenton Krentz right there with them. And we've got a yellow. Hearing it from Alex Tesdall, one of our in-race reporters, and I believe it involved the 46 of Pablo Hugo and the 16 of Harold Burden. In the back of the shot there, we saw the 16 getting it straightened up and pointed in the right direction, and he's got a lot of front-end damage.
It looked like the 46 got loose and overcorrected it.
Oh, I see. It looked like the one that took the biggest hit out of this is Harold, but the good news for him is he's still on the lead lap, and sometimes these drivers get burned by a caution not coming out when an incident like this occurs. The yellow came out, it saved him. He's going to be able to come down pit road, repair the car, and maybe drive back up towards the front. And now some pit strategy is unfolded. The two Crimson Axis Motorsports Fords have taken over the front row. Timmy Brown dives onto pit road at the last second, which is a legal move, and the green flag has been shown. We're restarting here in the final stage. Yes, he's going to clear Alex, and there's still bottled up 2 and 3 wide the further you can go. The great thing about New Hampshire is there's a lot of different grooves to pick from. Just hard to complete passes when you get to the car in front of you. And now
we're wrecking again.
A little bit deeper in the field. A little bit deeper in the field. Cars still continuing to race hard and bounce off each other. Everybody's still pointed in the right direction. We are still green. Nobody giving an inch at this point. Beam SKP, the driver in the 14, he is all the way up in 5th. That's the highest he's run all race long. He just passed the 2-time champ. Charles Jackson trying to go with him. Alex Pesdall got hung up.
We have a caution.
Oh, and we do. 3rd caution of the race for an on-track incident. And when you have an update on how many laps are remaining, let me know.
48.
Okay. Now, we're not sure what this one's for, but we have an idea. Dave Marks Jr. in the 41 and Trenton Krentz in the 20 both have a ton of front-end damage to their cars, and that's over on the front straightaway. It looked like Timmy Brown in the 19 was a part of it as well. So a 3-car crash here at the Magic Mile has put us under the yellow for the 3rd time tonight for an on-track incident. Under 50 laps to go, and actually check that. Could have been only a 2-car incident. I don't see any damage to the front of Timmy Brown's car unless he maybe got into one of them.
Stay out.
Including Pablo Hugo. This is going to be the first NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series lap that the driver out of Spain has ever led, and we are green. He and Sean Lucas lead him into turn 1. There was strategy as well by Alex Tesdall to get him back up there to restart in 4th. Pablo's going to clear him. They're 3 wide behind him. That's exactly what he wants to see. Earlier this year, Beam SKP became the first French-born driver to win an NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series race. Can Pablo Hugo become the first Spain-born driver to win one of our races here on the premier level, folks, the Platinum Cup Series? So Alex Tesdall in 2nd. Alex got a little bit wiggly coming out of turn 2. Might have found the wall. He still has it going in the right direction. Jesse Carlson right there behind him in 3rd, but he's getting challenged by Dustin Hardy in the 96, and he's bringing Beam and Josh Colm-Diaz with him. Aiden Cody, Charles Jackson, Matt Smith, Sean Lucas, the rest of your top 10, with Trey Hollywood, Aaron Garcia, Trenton Krentz, Sean McNutt, Timmy Brown, Harold Burden, Dave Marks Jr., and others from 11th on back. And the battle for the lead is on. I was wondering if Pablo could hold it, and they are really grouped up behind him, 2 and 3 wide, and now here comes Alex Tesdall to the bottom for the lead. They're 4 and 5 wide. I saw them 5 wide for a moment going into turn 1. Josh Colm-Diaz was the one who benefited the most out of the 5 wide fiasco, and he's going to slide into 3rd. And the one who had the worst end of it was definitely Pablo Hugo, but it was great to see him get up there and lead about 5 laps in this race. Normally runs in about the 8th to 16th region, still learning the NASCAR Heat 5 game and still adjusting to the level of competition here in the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series. And that was great to see him up there leading the way for a little while there. Under 40 laps to go. Here in the Magic Mile, 3:01. There are cars deeper in the field, still struggling with the handling of their race cars. Some of them are on older tires from taking wave arounds to try to get some laps back. But up front, it's Aiden Cody in the 95 that has taken the lead for the first time in this race. He is looking for his very first career NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series win. Qualified 5th for this race, finished 5th in Stage 1, 7th in Stage 2. Looking to shock the world and win his very first Platinum Cup Series race. Charles Jackson right behind him in the 1 car has 2 wins this year, locked into the playoffs. Josh Colm-Diaz runs in 3rd. No wins for him this year, and he's looking for his first one since the 2020 season. And now to the bottom comes Charles in the 1, trying his best to get it to stick down there without making any contact. He avoided sliding up into the side of the 95, and they're still side by side going into turn 1 for this lead. Now going into turn 1, kind of looked like Charles lifted extra to give it back to him and settle in line. Just kind of gave up on it and said, maybe I'll try again later. I could be wrong, but he really checked up going into turn 1. This has given the lead back to Aiden, and Josh Colm-Diaz runs in the runner-up spot trying to run him down. 2 winless drivers leading the field with the 2-time champ in 3rd. Trey Hollywood in the 48 has joined this battle up here for the lead and for the win. He's brought Aaron Garcia, his teammate, in the 24 with him, and I'm amazed that Aaron is back up into 6th. He was all the way outside the top 10 just a handful of laps ago, showing us why he's the points leader. And he has just cleared his teammate Trey Hollywood to take over 5th. And Charles Jackson is beginning to struggle with the handling of the race car a little bit, I think. I think he's getting loose coming out of these turns every now and then, and it's really forced him to back up towards where the 48 and the 24 are. Either that or he is saving his tires and fuel. Charles might be trying to make it from here to the very end on tires and fuel, or he might be trying to save them enough so he can take 2. Because he is really backing up here. The next one to get him is going to be the 24 of Aaron Garcia. And the battle for the lead still looks like this. Matt Smith has worked his way up into 2nd. Just past the 9 of Josh Colm-Diaz. And now he's going to the inside of Aiden Cody in the 95. 2 drivers looking for their very first win of the season. One of them looking for his first career Platinum Cup win. And the 2-time champ in the 47 has 7 wins this season. And that's good stuff. And he's going to clear him and take the lead. Matt Smith to the point. It's the 2nd time in this race he has led. And now we'll have to see if Josh and Aiden can stay with him, or if Trey Hollywood in the 48 can drive his way up there. We should mention he has broken free of the traffic that he was dealing with back there, that wild battle from about 4th all the way back to 9th, and he now has left that group and he solidly holds on to the 4th place position. Trenton Frentz runs in 5th just behind him. He's rebounded from being 2 laps down in this race. Charles Jackson runs in 6th. Jesse Carlson, not too far behind him in the 6th car, runs in 7th. Aaron Garcia, Alex Tesdall, Dustin Hardy rounding out the top 10 with Harold Burden and Sean Lucas and Sean McNutt running 11th, 12th, and 13th. Bean SKP in the 14 has really lost a lot of track position somehow as well. He scored in 14th. Many of these drivers have had flashes of brilliance where they look like they could drive up there and compete for the lead and compete for the win. And there's about 14 or 15 of them that deserve a top 5 finish with the speed that they've brought here tonight. The problem is not everybody can get that. And this is what the battle for the lead looks like. Aiden Cody in the 95 has kind of lost touch with the leaders a little bit. Trey Hollywood in the 48 is actually closing in on the 95 machine. The only one that's able to, right now, hold on with the 2-time champion is Josh Colm-Diaz in the 9. He's your 2021 NOSSCAR Legend Series champion. and he's only about 4 or 5 car lengths behind Matt Smith. New Hampshire is one of his better tracks. I wouldn't call it his best track. I might call Phoenix his best track, but he is right close to him. Well, let's throw it over to the driver of the number 6, Jesse Carlson. 2 wins for you this season. It looks like you might need a caution to catch up and battle for the win here in this one, but we wanted to ask you how many laps are remaining and what's your strategy from here on out?
We got 28 laps to go. Yeah, it's going to depend on how people have used up their tires and fuel, and we'll see if they make it to the end. But so far, I'm confident I can make it to the end. Got roughed up earlier with all that big gaggle of a battle, and but yeah, just trying to rebound and hope for a caution. Hope for these guys to battle hard.
Awesome stuff. Good luck the rest of the way.
And 48's around.
Oh, and that is a heartbreaker. We're here in the 48 is around, and he was just up there in 4th, and he was closing in on the 95 of Aiden Cody, and that was going to be a battle for 3rd, and he is around. You're right. He has dropped outside the top 10. He's still on the lead lap, and no damage to the 48 Chevy Camaro, but definitely has lost a ton of track position after working so hard to drive all the way up into 3rd. But only 25 laps to go. It's going to be tough to overcome. New Hampshire is a very tough track to complete passes, and these drivers are all concerned about making it to the end on the tires that they have as it is. So you really can't overdrive to try to pass 4, 5, 6 cars at this point in the race. You kind of need to ride a steady, fast pace and see where it gets you.
Tires and fuel will both be very close.
It sounds close when we talk about it and when I'm looking at it on paper here, because I know kind of how long you guys can go on fuel and tires. It's going to be very close, especially for drivers that are not really known for taking it easy on their stuff. Like Josh in the 9 car, he only knows one speed, and that's go. Right now, he's in 2nd. He's only 4 car lengths behind Matt Smith. There's times when he closes in, but there's times when he gets loose and loses a car length or 2 as well. But he's within striking distance of winning this race, but he might be short on fuel or tires once the run is over. His car is already showing signs of weakness. The harder you push and the more worn your tires get, especially at a flat track like New Hampshire, it just slides around like crazy on corner exit. It could come down to some strategy here, and some of these drivers that are still on the lead lap and in the top 10, some of them are known for pulling strategy out of a hat and parking it in victory lane, and one of those being Harold Burden, the driver of the 16 Chevy Camaro. There you see him. He's on the lead lap. He's right now running outside of the top 10. Not a mark on that car. He could be one to watch here, folks, because if anybody is going to make it to the end, it's going to be him. He's done it before. He won a Legend Series race earlier this week at Texas Motor Speedway with a fuel mileage strategy, and he might be able to do the same thing here tonight for the Magic Mile 301 at New Hampshire for the Platinum Cup Series.
Hey, I was right on his tail during that Texas race.
Yes, you were. Harold's never won a Platinum Cup race. If he does, he becomes the 16th different Triple Crown winner in NOSSCAR history. It matches car number, too. So now he's got to do it. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. on pit road for service. Under 20 to go here in the final stage. And your race leader is Matt Smith in the 47 car. And the gap between he and Josh Colby has opened up to about about a third of the straightaway. It's definitely more about 15 car lengths now rather than 4 to 6, and either Matt has turned up the wick a little bit or the tires have gone away for the 9 car. Could be a mix of both. Anything can happen here still at this point. Maybe Josh is saving now. Maybe he's looking at the fuel gauge a little bit. I'm not too sure. Time will tell. The laps are winding down. And again, a caution would change everything. And the 95 of Aiden Cody just went off course. That's over in turns 3 and 4. Went through the grass. He didn't hit anything. Back up onto the racetrack and going to continue on. He's still inside the top 10 and on the lead lap. And I think that there's a number of drivers saving their stuff right now because a lot of them are losing time rapidly to your race leader. Time they were not losing before.
For a lot, especially the ones that didn't stop on the last stop, it's going to take a lap or two saving, maybe 3.
And I can't believe it's going to come down to this, too. 22 drivers from 4 different countries started this race, and we've only seen a caution for 3 incidents on track. It's been a very clean, very tame race. Many different grooves you can run here, and we saw a little bit of everything tonight. 4 wide, 3 wide. We even saw 5 wide. The 9 car made it 5 wide going into turn 1. I couldn't believe it. And we made it stick. There was no crash. It's been an amazing race to watch from start to finish here, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds at the end. Because we know some of these drivers are not going to make it the entire way. Just the question is which ones, who's going to be able to capitalize, who's going to pounce. I gotta wonder, perhaps my biggest wonder is that I wonder if the 9 of Josh Colombias is saving. He was all over the 47, and now it looks like he is really pedaling it in the corners. I can tell that the 1 and the 6, they're not going their full speed. There's a few others that are definitely lifting early going into the corners. The 95 of Aiden Cody has surrendered a top 10 spot. He's on pit road. He could not make it the rest of the way. It's going to cost him big. Might even cost him a top 10 finish, especially if many of the others are capable of making it the entire distance. So it is still Matt Smith leading, Josh Columbia is in second, Charles Jackson in third, Jesse Carlson is in fourth. And then you got to go all the way back to find the driver running in fifth, about a full straightaway behind the 6 car, and I believe that it's the 24 of Aaron Garcia. Trenton Krentz runs in 6th, and it's Beam SKP in the 14 car running in 7th. And Matt Smith has begun to carve his way through the lap traffic, about a full straightaway in front of the battle for second, which is on your screen. And the question is, can he make it the entire way on tires and fuel? There seems to be no signs of him slowing down and taking it easy, and that makes me wonder if he's given up on the thought of making it the whole way, or if he's saved enough already and now he's taking off. He just put a lap on Sean Lucas in the 21. He put a lap on Trey Hollywood in the 48 just a little bit ago as well. Trey had a shot to win this race. He drove all the way up to third, and then he spun on his own, and now he's fallen off the lead lap and outside the top 10, and he's forced to take it easy now in order to make it to the end of the race on fuel and tires. Oh, and then there's still cars getting loose, especially coming out of turn 2 every now and then. We're at the point in the run where everybody is hanging on for dear life. They've only had a couple of runs in this race where they went this far and they felt how the car feels on tires this worn and this old. And now some of them are really struggling with the handling of their race car. And now Dave Marks Jr. in the 41 just went up the track and into the side of the 1 car of Charles Jackson. And that's going to cost Charles the 3rd place position to Jesse Carlson. It almost looked intentional. I'm not too sure if it was or not. That was interesting. Now Josh in the 9 trying to take a look to the inside of Pablo Hugo. It's not a battle for position. These drivers just trying to work their way through the lap traffic. Jesse Carlson in the 6 got really loose coming out of turn 2. That last time by, a big save by him, but now he's under fire from Charles Jackson in the 1. This battle for 3rd is going on about a full straightaway in front of Aaron Garcia, the points leader, who scored in 5th. So really there's not too much risk for Jesse or Charles. They're not going to lose track position if they battle side by side for these last 15 laps. And that's a good question. We'll throw it over to Alex Tesdahl. We haven't heard from him in a little while. Running in the top 10 on the lead lap. Alex, how many laps to go in this one, buddy?
6 to go for the leader.
And they click off quickly here. It's been an up and down day for you, but mostly up. You're in the top 10 right now with no damage on that Ford Mustang. Sum up your day quickly for us.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an up and down day. Scored a few points in stage 1, and, didn't score nothing in stage 2. We got mired in traffic, and now I've clawed back up into the top 10 and looking good to finish it out.
Yeah, it looked tough to pass out there, but you did a good job passing cars today, and you're going to get a good finish out of it. Good job, buddy. And back up front we go. We'll catch up with Jesse Carlson in a moment as well. Josh Cole Diaz in the 9 car evidently could not make it the entire way. He had to come down pit road to get service. He's back rolling again. And Pablo Hugo in the 46 car just came up and made contact with the 9. I don't think it was intentional. I think he lost control trying to slow it up and stay away from the 9. But what this means is it should leave Matt Smith in the 47 safely out front to hold on to the lead and to the win. He's got nobody hounding him and challenging him. He's got a huge gap that he can manage. He can really pedal it and baby it going into these corners. Throw it over to Jesse Carlson. Jesse, you're up in the top 5. You had a great run all race long. You led laps. You had a shot to win this one. Sum up your day for us. Looks like you'll finish 3rd here.
It's been okay. Yeah, I've been having a great time up in the top 5. Just, it's a little bit frustrating when you get a big gaggle of cars at bow and just kind of makes your head spin 90 miles an hour and all. But yeah, 3rd place. If so, yeah, it would definitely be good to get a podium, and can't wait to go to Atlanta.
And it's a playoff point. Hold on to it. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Back up front we go. Matt Smith is in a bit of traffic here. He's got a few cars in front of him that he's going to need to negotiate his way by in order to get home free, I would say. But really, he doesn't have to. He's got a huge lead. He could just ride behind these 2 if he really wanted to. And it might even be best, especially if he's still trying to nurse those tires and that fuel tank the rest of the way. I don't really know how close he is. But we are now on the final lap. The white flag has been shown. If anyone's going to beat Matt, he's going to need to start sputtering right now. And it doesn't look like he's going to. Still full power going into turn 3. And he's going to do it. Showing us why he's a 2-time Platinum Cup Series champion. Matt Smith wins the Magic Mile 301 at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. 8th win of the 2022 season and 40th career NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series win. We saw a lot of different leaders in tonight's race. Jesse Carlson and Beam SKP, Aiden Cody, and
16 wrecked it in the final corner.
Matt Smith and others. And At the end of it all, at the end of all the variables here, it was Matt Smith overcoming the odds and parking it in victory lane. You're right, there was a crash in the last corner involving Dave Marks Jr. in the 41 and Harold Burden in the 16. They're both going to get it righted and cross the line now to get their points. And congratulations to Matt Smith, 40th career win in the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series. 8th of the season. He's got the most playoff points of anybody so far here in the 2022 season, and he's going to be one of the heavyweights again to win it all at the end of the year. Become a 3-time champion, perhaps. We'll hear from him shortly. And if one of you guys can put it into the race reporter chat to invite Flash on in here, that would save me from having the viewers look at a blue screen.
Flash is already in this chat. I'll let him know to join.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And we're here in Victory Lane with the 2-time NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, the driver of the 47 Chevy Camaro for Lone Wolf Motorsports, team owned by Jordan Green, the 6-time champion and Hall of Famer. Congratulations, Matt. You are the Magic Mile 301 winner. 8 wins this season now, and your 40th career NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series win for you came here tonight. Sum up your day for us. A lot of different race leaders, a lot of different strategies, and some cautions fell at a few different key moments to change the complexion of this race. Walk us through it all.
Oh, that was probably one of the craziest and exciting races we've had in a long time. I don't think I had any advantage over the 24 and the 6 early on. I think we were all running the same speed for majority of the stage, and stage 2, it was a little bit of a stretch, but I was trying to make it without having to pit, so I was letting the top 4 or 5 cars go, and there's a large gap to the next car. But then the caution came out and had a really good battle with Black Cross crossing each other over and rubbing doors and stuff. That was really fun, and there was a lot of shake up on that final caution, with people doing 2 tires and no tires. And since Shadow's in here, I'll apologize. I was getting creamed from behind about every corner trying to take care of him. And I knew I got into him pretty good at one time, so I apologize for that. But once we were able to get through the chaos, I think I restarted 11th on the final restart, and just tried to stay away from everybody. And some of the guys really tried to save early, and I figured if it stayed green over the course of 45 laps, I could save that lap and a half or whatever naturally, and I was able to, and kind of just got out to a big lead. So an unexpected win for sure. I'm not a fan of New Hampshire at all, but sliders kind of equals the field rather than custom setups, so it's a big win. I can't believe 40 wins. That's a pretty big number.
That's what I thought. It's very impressive. It's a big milestone for you, and it came in dramatic fashion here tonight because, like you said, you weren't necessarily the favorite all race long. You were definitely one of the favorites, but there was times when you were mired in traffic outside the top 10, and you had to really battle back and get up there. We saw flashes of brilliance from about 8 or 9 or 10 different drivers that had a strong chance to win this race. We saw 3, 4, we even saw 5 wide at one point, but yet it's such a hard track for passing. What were some of the ways and some of the things you did that put you at the front and put yourself in this position to win?
I mean, yeah, there's probably 6 or 7 guys that, given the right track position, could contend for the win, and you know, it's one of those tracks that it kind of, it's some guys' strong suits. You know, like Black Cross is really good here, and like Martinsville and Gateway, and you know, Oof is, you know, good on some of these tracks too, where, you know, it comes into play with like getting loose off the corner and stuff, because he's such a good road course racer and throttle control. Just try to play it smart, especially when the tires went away. Now, I wasn't going to try to full throttle it, just trying to gain half a tenth. I was just trying to ride, but then once I got the lead, I had to keep NASCAR King at bay behind me, and then his car started to fall off, and I knew I could take care of my tires a little bit more and just try to be, you know, as careful as I could around the lap cars. And I was in the chat with some of them, so just trying to let them know that, hey, I'm coming up on you, and you know, appreciating them giving me the space.
It was a tough race with a lot of drivers that had a shot to win, and you executed perfectly. Congratulations, Matt, and best of luck to you the rest of the way this season.
All right, thanks a lot. Looking forward to Atlanta.
10-4, and you know what? Many drivers are. I was in the garage area earlier today, and I was talking to many of the NOSSCAR Platinum Cup Series drivers. They love coming to Atlanta. The high draft influence that we provide there. It's the only mile-and-a-half track that we do that for. We're trying to mimic the style of what NASCAR does, and it really opens the door for all of the drivers, really all 20-plus drivers to have a shot to win at Atlanta. So keep your eyes on the channel for that one, folks. It's going to be a doozy. We saw 4 and 5 wide here in New Hampshire. Might see the same thing again here at Atlanta later tonight. And once again, congratulations to the driver of the 47, Matt Smith, for winning the Magic Mile 301 here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. A job well done in a very challenging race. And that's going to do it for the New Hampshire broadcast, folks. Round 23 is in the history books. From all of us here at NOSSCAR, including myself, Tyler McMurder, along with my 2 in-race reporters, Jesse Carlson and Alex Tusdahl, we are saying so long, and until next time, stay fast, folks.